Hey guys, how are you doing? And welcome back to another income report video. In this video, I'll be sharing with you the KDP royalties that I made in March in comparison to March last year, and also going over how much I spent on advertising and my overall profit for the month. For anyone who is new here, I make low and medium content books for Amazon KDP, things like journals, colouring books and planners. And I started KDP in 2019 and have published over 600 books by this stage. A majority of my income comes from a very small number of my books overall. So I have books that have never sold a single copy, books that sell 1 or 2 copies a month, and then books that might sell hundreds of copies a month. If you watched my last income report, which I'll link to above, then you'll know that my royalties since December have been lower than previous years for various reasons that I go over in that video and other videos recently. But at the start of the month, I realised that some of my Australia royalties were really low, and also in Canada. I noticed that one Australian book that sold only made 39 cents. So I spent some time increasing the royalties on those platforms. And I also mentioned last month that I started changing many more of my UK prices, and I realised that I still hadn't changed many others after Amazon decided to add VAT on top of the listing price, and I think I started increasing those at the end of last month. I think I might have mentioned it on the last income report. So I changed the prices of hundreds of different products in the end. March sales were slightly improved on January and February, so it ended up being the highest month of the year so far. But let me know in the comments how it went for you. So as far as how much was in general, I did publish 2 books at the start of March, but primarily I was working on creating a website and free download for one of my pen names and sorting all that out. And there were various technical issues that I had to figure out. That's still not 100% complete, because then I spent way too long on the previous video that I uploaded on YouTube because I had multiple technical issues with that, and it meant I had to keep re-recording, and it was almost comical how many issues that ended up being. So this month in April, it's the Easter holidays, so it does tend to be a month when I get a little bit less done. Even though it tends to be a busy month, I will aim to publish 2 books that I've been wanting to complete, and I still need to tweak the website I was talking about and make sure that it's all working correctly. And I'd like to record 3 videos this month, including this one, and hopefully publish all of those in April. So next up, I'm going to share my ad spend with you. Amazon now has a country combined view on their ad platform. I'm not sure when this rolled out. I only noticed it, I think, last month or really recently, but for all I know it's been around forever and I just didn't notice. In any case, I find it really helpful because you can now edit all of your ads in one place and you don't have to switch between all of the different platforms. So this is how my combined ads were in March across all the platforms that I run ads in, which is the UK, US, Australia and Canada. So the total ad spend was around $1,200. The overall relay cost was only 23%, which is really decent considering that some of my ads were running on a really high ACOS and bringing that number up. But I'll just show you what the other platforms were like. So in the UK, my ACOS was 23% and I spent around £640. The ACOS in the US was over 30% and I spent over $346. And the next 2 were really low. So the ACOS was 11% in Australia, but I only spent just over $50, so that was really low. And then in Canada, I had to reduce some of my bids for ads that were overspending, and that just led to a drop in sales overall. So I'm going to have to look at Canada again and maybe just start some new campaigns from scratch. But I'll see. As of yet, I haven't advertised any of the colouring books that I recently published in Australia or Canada, so I might consider that as well. Let me know if you run ads in Canada or Australia to your colouring books and if you have any success with that, because I personally have never run ads to colouring books in those countries, but I'll definitely consider doing that. So overall then, in March I made $7,044. January and February were both under the 7k mark, so I'm quite pleased about that, even though last March was a good chunk higher than this again and with less ad spend. The highest day though was $575 and the lowest day being $132. This was March last year, so over 1k less this year, and also ads were higher. So last year ads were around $850, and this year they're around $1,200. So this is just what I've come to expect now for this year, and I can only work on improving ads and creating more products. The year previous to this was over 9,000, so it's sort of gone down 1,000 each year, roughly. But I know that particular year back in 2023, when it was really high, it was really unusual just in general. Considering everything, I'm happy with the result. As far as country stats go, I still get a majority of my sales in the UK, 59% of them. So definitely having to decrease my prices and change them has had an impact. I would like to increase sales in Canada and Australia, but at least increasing my prices a bit might help with royalties overall. I will think about increasing ad spend over there as well. There was a time where my US and UK sales were much more equal. In fact, the US was higher when I very first started on KDP, but it's been this way for a really long time now. But I have got many more sales in the US from the most recent colouring books that I uploaded, which I wasn't really expecting. I don't know if colouring books just tend to sell better in the US or if it's just the particular niches that I've tried, but that's just been my experience so far. The total profit that I made after expenses and ads was around $5,725, and that was including tools which were around the $100 mark. They go up and down. If you're interested in the tools that I use, I link to those in the description of this video, as well as a link to my website which has all of the different tools I use, including outside of KDP related. And all this is before tax as well. So this is not what I take home, but this is from KDP that I take home before tax deductions. So still a good month, and I have no idea how April is going to be. I'm recording this video right at the start of April. Last year, April was a little bit less than this, so I don't know what to expect yet. We'll just have to see. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great April and a great month on KDP overall ahead, and I will speak to you again very soon.